Hello again. Thank you for coming back to watch some more chess. Black pieces today. Opponent joined 6 days ago. Well, let's play a Sicilian. The Alapin Sicilian. Expecting d4. And I'm going to give him the isolated queen pawn. Oh, he wants to trade queens first. Okay. So the rule on an isolated pawn, target of any kind, we want to blockade it. We want to contain it from moving forward and then target it. Gonna get castled, just develop my bishop, get castled, and then I might think about fianchettoing my light square bishop over here. I'm here to attack it. I just retreat and then kick it. One square, not two. And now that I'm castled, we get fianchettoed. And then bring my rooks to D and C. And just try to build up some pressure against this isolated pawn. Take that knight back out. Just to avoid it sitting there in any kind of like advanced positions, make him reposition it so that I can get this bishop back out and connect my rooks. Feeling a little drawish, but I have a target. Without the queens on the board, white has lost a lot of its attacking potential. So there's a rook coming to the d file, an immediate threat on d4. You'll need to defend it with the bishop or the knight, bishop here or knight back. I may wait and I don't know. Bring my bishop out first. Depends. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve. So he brings the knight back to preemptively guard. So let's develop our bishop with the idea of bringing our knight in to attack his light square bishop. He'll be forced to retreat it and disconnect his rooks if he doesn't bring this rook to the c file first. Okay, he keeps my knight out. So let's just develop our rooks, bring our rooks into the middle. But think about bringing the knight to the edge. That gives him the opportunity to double my pawns on the edge, though. Might be worth a bishop for me to do that. I have to confess I'm a little suspicious of my opponent's play already. It's just like seeing a 6-day-old account. Um, Maybe he's playing his own moves. Does make me suspicious, but let's just keep developing. Let's get a rook to the middle of the board and see what he's got. I am tempted to bring the knight over here, but that really leaves this square for the... Okay, he's blocked. I bring it here now, and he stacks rooks. I swap, and he swaps, and I don't have anywhere to put this knight. But I can come here and attack the rook. Ask him what he's doing with that rook. I don't want to push this pawn and just allow him to trade off this weakness. But maybe I can reposition my bishop now to attack it. That's an idea. And come back this way and line up an attack on this weak pawn. He's still got 2 defenders on it. If I could find tempo to clear these knights off, I'd be very tempted to just snap this knight off, remove a defender of this, and really mess up his kingside pawn structure. So where's my opportunity to do that? Probably should bring his bishop here to defend the pawn and free up his knights. And if I trade, he's got hanging pawns. I don't know if he likes his hanging pawns or not. So he puts his bishop there to oppose my bishop. Hmm. If I take the center pawn, I was trying to see if there's any tricks and tactics. It'd be bait. He would have to take my rook and swap that off. But if he can just take the knight and ignore the rook, everything is held together and protected. So what is my plan? How do I continue? Lift this. Keeps him from trading off my bishop. And he starts pushing kingside pawns. Well then, I'm a little tempted to let the tactics fly now and just see if I can make something work, but I don't see anything. He's going to try and swap off this hook, force me to trade off my bishop. I wonder if I could just reposition my bishop to threaten his knight and the protection of this. That seems like a pretty good idea. I'll just target over here. Go on. Go. Go. My apologies. I need to let my dog out. Okay. So, what does he do to defend against that? Does he just continue with his plan and let me take? When he tried to swap, that adds the rook as a defender. So he pushes and I take, and he takes with the bishop, and I take with the bishop, and he takes with the knight. There's a defender gone, but the rook defends now. So the knight and the rook both defend the central pawn. I've lost an attacker. I only have one attacker on the central pawn. I could swing this up and figure out what he wants to do with this knight. Anyway. My opponent resigned. Wow, that's surprising. I'm not sure why. There's still, I mean, it's difficult, but there's still plenty of play. And it was a dead even game. I played it with very high accuracy, and so did he. Both at 2,700. Yeah, okay. Maybe he was suspicious of my play too. Um, but that was a pretty simple, like there weren't a whole lot of complications in that game. Um, maybe maybe he was cheating and thought I was cheating too. I don't know. But this is a darn near perfect game. I've got exclams on the opening and the middle, and I'm going to post this game even though he resigned so early into it, just so that I have this video out there in case he turned me in for cheating or something. Uh, but I was suspicious of his play. I can't blame him if he was suspicious of mine for that. That's a high level game there. Book move, book move. That was a inaccuracy. Is that the only? That is his one inaccuracy, taking with the queen. I do think that was odd. Um, you play the Alapin knowing that you're going to get the isolated queen pawn and playing around it. The tactics with an isolated queen pawn play out a lot better if you have the queen to support an attack. So that can be chalked up to a misunderstanding of the opening. Um, that was a good move, an excellent move, as it's called. And then we just develop pieces fairly naturally. Well, I can't complain too much about the quality of this game. I do wish my opponent would have played on, though. 21 moves, a very nice play from both parties. I do want to take a second and just peek at his profile. Beating an 1100 there, 1500, a 1600, a 1500, an 1100, a 1300, an 1800. There he's beat a 1900 there. I'm very curious as to why he resigned so early. Maybe it was just a boring position for him and didn't want to play it out, or I am curious if he was using an engine. I kind of want to dive deeply into his profile now just to see quality of games and such. But that might be the subject of another video. Thank you for coming to watch some chess, and sorry it wasn't a lengthier game, but it was fun and a pretty solid high level game. Like, share, subscribe, and come back and watch some more.